Since 2018, Reliability Matters has been building a knowledge vault, capturing the wisdom of industry experts for engineers everywhere. In this special year-end episode, we celebrate the journey, the growth, and the community that made it all possible. And it all begins right now. Stick around.
Welcome to Reliability Matters, a podcast for the electronic assembly industry. Each episode covers topics related to reliability, best practices, and environmentally responsible assembly techniques, with insights from experts across the electronic assembly industry. Now, here's your host, Mike Conrad.
Welcome, or hopefully welcome back to the Reliability Matters podcast. I'm your host, Mike Conrad. This is our year-end special episode, number 183, not counting the several special editions we produced along the way. When I started this podcast back in 2018, I had one simple goal: to create a knowledge vault that would be accessible to everyone in our industry. Over the years, I've watched so many industry veterans and subject matter experts retire, taking their knowledge and expertise with them. I wanted to capture those voices and preserve their expertise so that engineers from around the world could continue to learn from them for years to come. When I began this show, I established two guiding principles. First, there would be no sponsors or advertising of any kind. Second, the conversations would remain entirely non-commercial, focused solely on best practices and education. By having no sponsors or commercials, we can engage in conversations more freely without worrying about offending a sponsor or being influenced by commercial interests. And because this show is completely agnostic and non-commercial, I'm most proud of the fact that we've earned the trust of our audience. Our sole goal is to educate, not to sell. My goal was to cover everything related to the reliability of electronics, from board design and fabrication to assembly and test. Along the way, I've also interviewed professors who are educating the next generation of engineers and covered major industry events to highlight key technical content. When I launched this podcast, I expected to produce maybe 10 episodes. I figured there wouldn't be much more to talk about. I couldn't have been more wrong. The rapid evolution of electronics ensures that reliability will always be an important and relevant topic, and that means this podcast will continue to have a reason to exist for many years to come. I'm so deeply grateful to the hundreds of experts who have appeared on this show. Their willingness to share their time, knowledge, and expertise has created an incredible resource for our industry, a living archive of expertise. I'm equally grateful to you, our listeners and viewers. The audience continues to grow every month, and as of today, Reliability Matters episodes have been downloaded more than 90,000 times, far beyond what I ever imagined when this all began. Many of you have approached me at trade shows and conferences to talk about specific episodes, suggest guests, or share ideas for future topics. I truly appreciate your support, engagement, and encouragement. I also want to acknowledge two of our syndication partners, Mike Butow of the Printed Circuit Engineering Association, who syndicates this show at PCBchat.com, and Fred Schenkelberg of Ascendo Reliability, who hosts the show at reliability.fm. Their support helps this content reach even more engineers and reliability professionals around the world. As electronics continue to evolve, so will the challenges of reliability, and so will this podcast. I'm incredibly excited about what's ahead for our 2026 season. We have more guests, more technical discussions, and more opportunities to learn from the best minds in the industry. And now, a thank you to my guests which appeared this year on the podcast. In January, I spoke with Brian O'Leary, Global Head of E-Mobility and Infrastructure at Indium Corporation, on the subject of opportunities and challenges within the EV industry, and Priyanka Bulgaria, founder and CEO of Looper AI, on the subject of AI-based inspection technologies. In February, I spoke with Robert Boguski, president and owner of Daytest, on the subject of electronics testing best practices, and Alex Norman, battery management system designer at Pro Technologies, about battery selection and safety best practices. March brought conversations with Sebastian Schall, founder and CEO of Luminovo, who talked about AI-integrated supply chain management software, and Elias Malfavon Jr., president of Metal Etch Services, talking about stencil design and manufacturing best practices. In April, I recorded an episode at the Pan-Pacific Strategic Electronics Symposium, better known as PanPAC, in Hawaii with Dr. Ron Lasky from Dartmouth College, Dr. John Evans, and Dr. Tom Duvall, both from Auburn University, who talked about electronics down memory lane, a vision for the future. Also in April, we released a Meet the Press episode with journalist and PCEA president Mike Butow, talking about the various hot topics within the electronics assembly industry. In May, I recorded both episodes at the IPC Apex Expo in Anaheim. These episodes included conversations with Greg Beck, Director of Sales at Absolute EMS, Brian Watson, co-founder of Hyrel Technologies, Keith Sweatman, Technical Advisor at Nihon Superior, Gerald Gardner, Global Product Manager at Weller, and Mike Young, CEO of Sasino Americas. In June, I spoke with Dheeraj Narang about the DMR approach to reliability, safety, and human impact, and Tim Kang, CEO of Hanwha Semitech Americas, on the subject of pick-and-place machine selection and optimization. July brought conversations with Chintan Sataria, founder of OpenJar, who talked about from chaos to control, steering ERP projects back, and Camille Terry, co-founder and CEO of Charger Help. She spoke about improving the reliability of public EV chargers. In August, I spoke with Stefan Chavez, Senior Product Manager at Siemens EDA, and Dave Wiens, Product Marketing Manager for the Expedition Enterprise portfolio, also with Siemens EDA, who talked about AI and PCB design. I also spoke with two of my favorite consultants, Phil Zaro and Jim Hall from ITM Consulting, about war stories from the line. September brought a conversation with Victoria Rawinski talking about humidity, small cause, huge reliability risk, and Chris Ward, founder and managing director of Solder King Assembly Materials Limited. We spoke about the chemistry of reliability, choosing the right solder and flux. Also in September, we released a special episode all about Surface Mount Technology International's technical conference with Tony Lentz from FCT Assembly, Gail Towell from AIM Solder, Tom Revere from Lockheed Martin, Maurice Dorr from Vallejo, Kelly Flanagan from Rockwell, and Dr. Adam Klett from Kaizen. In October, I spoke with Shantanu Joshi, Head of Customer Solutions and Operational Excellence, and Greg Starrett, General Manager of North American Operations, both with Koki Solder, on an episode entitled Behind the Alloy, Soldering Materials, Process Control, and Reliability. And Ross Bernston, President and CEO of Indium Corporation, who talked about building reliability from the inside out. In November, I spoke with Dr. Hanwen Zhang, Principal Metallurgist and R&D Manager of the Alloy Group at Indium Corporation, about cooler connections, low-temperature soldering for a high-reliability world. And Raymond Navarra, founder and owner of East End Assemblies, on the subject of what every OEM should know about working with contract manufacturers. And earlier this month, December, I spoke with Daniel Stanfill, SMT Process Engineer at Aurora Boardworks, and Sean Kincaid, President of K&F Electronics, who talked about getting it right, how to work effectively with your CM. And that brings us to today's episode. Thank you so much for listening or watching, for supporting this show, and for being part of the Reliability Matters community. What began as a 10-episode experiment has grown into something far greater than I could have imagined. Here's to a new year of learning, sharing, and improving reliability of electronics everywhere. I wish everyone the happiest of holidays and a safe, healthy, prosperous, and, of course, reliable new year. Thank you for listening or watching the Reliability Matters podcast. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast to be notified when new episodes are released. We release new episodes on the second and fourth Tuesday of every single month. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe. These two simple clicks really help us expand our reach. Until next time, keep learning, keep doing it right, and remember, Reliability Matters, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks.
Thanks for listening to the Reliability Matters podcast. Join us on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month for new episodes of Reliability Matters.